This is the Marvel Legends Cinematic Universe Ultron. Ultron is the Build-A-Figure character for the Ant-Man Marvel Legends wave of figures featuring Tiger Shark, Grim Reaper, the Wasp, Cinematic Universe Ant-Man, Giant Man, and Bulldozer. You need all 6 figures to get all the pieces to build Ultron. And essentially, I have him in this pose because this is essentially how I feel about the figure. It's a combination of frustration and excitement and just a bit of I feel like Hasbro could have done so much better with this figure. It has a lot of things going for it, and yet at the same time there's a lot of those little missteps that the process that made it look from a super great figure to just a good figure. We'll talk about that in a while. So anyway, here is the figure. Here is the sculpt. Let me try and see if yeah, there we go. He stands about 7 inches and a bit, 7.2 inches, if I may compute correctly. This is about 6 and up to here, and then about just a little over an inch. So about 7 and a bit, 7 inches and a bit tall. He's very tall for a Marvel Legends figure, so that's great because he is the Build-A-Figure. Sculpt-wise, I think they nailed it in terms of sculpt for the James Spader Ultron in the movies. I think it's great. There's a lot of ton of details here and there. Really fantastic sculpt on this one. I was actually very surprised at how good this one turned out. The only problem with the sculpt I have is really the head sculpt. It looks like a very meek and loving figure, meek and loving face. I wish they could have used a more sinister look to him. Maybe have like a sly grin on him. Maybe at least an alternate head for him. Even the eyes look so meek and oh, come on. Do you want that kitten? I mean, it's Ultron was very sinister in the movie. He was very creepy, and he looks like he was like, oh, you're the Avengers. I mean, come on. I don't know if it's the paint apps on the eyes or the way the mouth's been sculpted. There's something about it that's lacking that sinisterness, or a bit of sinister and mischief and evil in him. So that's my biggest complaint about the sculpt. Paint apps, another bit of complaint for him. On the shelf and in the pack, on the shelf when you display him, he looks fantastic. They use this gray metallic shiny gray type of plastic. They use like that red plastic they use for Sideswipe, Transformers Universe Sideswipe. It's a very nice plastic. I like that it's not just a flat gray. However, on this side, they tried to paint or spray paint this part, and then when you move him to the side, you see there's no paint at all, then absolutely no paint just on top. So I think they just moved the spray paint like that, and that's it. I think they were going for that faded look, like some parts are silver going into gray, but it just sort of doesn't get there. It should be, okay, fine, shiny silver, dark silver, light gray, dark gray, something like that. But it comes very abruptly as silver, and then always gray. Silver and it's gray. It's like polarized. Honestly, I wish they would have just painted everything silver. That would have cost so much more money, but that would have been so awesome. But I guess they also wanted to highlight this shimmery type of gray. They could have done that with some parts and left them gray, but they should have used more silver, in my opinion, and that really brought the figure's grade a little bit much lower than I expected. I mean, it's going to bring the grade down. Articulation for the figure's got a bulge in the neck on a hinge, ratcheting ab crunch, and a very fragile, slightly ratcheting waist swivel. And look at that. I mean, this is a new mold. How can there be some sort of degradation? Ball hinge elbow, very tight but very loose. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows are very tight, nice. Ball hinge wrists. Ball hinge hips are just hindered by these hip sculpts. I mean, I wish they could have allowed him to do more splits. And anyway, thigh swivel. This one doesn't connect properly because the hole is just a little bit too small for the peg underneath. I haven't done any customizing. This one fits nicely. Double jointed knees that are very, very weak. I mean, come on, Hasbro. You think you'd already figured that one out. Okay, no calf swivel. Ball hinge ankles that just, I wish they would have tilted forward a little bit more like that, but they just don't. So some limitations of articulation, but generally very well, got very good articulation for a Marvel Legends figure. So all in all, I can't give it a perfect score. I wanted to give it a 10 over 10. Here he is with the Marvel Legends Iron Man 2 Ultron. He stands just under 6 inches. About 6 inches, yeah. Yep, he stands about 6 inches. He's 7.2 inches. 8.5 out of 10, maybe. Just very frustrating at times. But he just looks so good on the shelf. But then when you start playing with him, man. Anyway, here is with the Avengers 2 Hulk and the Mark 43. Just for some size comparison. I mean, he's great as a build figure. The entire wave is just a bunch of fantastic figures you might be interested in getting. He's, I think, for me, just a bonus. All 6 figures are gems, except Tiger Shark maybe. But he's I think a wonderful, wonderful bonus, especially if you need the villain for your Avengers movie shelf. There you go, folks. Marvel Legends Cinematic Universe Ultron. Thanks for watching.